Meanwhile, police and heavily armed guards are engaged in a standoff with striking workers at the hostels of the Medupi Power Station in Lephalale. Workers embarked on a stay away to pressure Eskom to give in to their demands over bonuses and accommodation. Hundreds of workers refused to board a bus from the hostels to the construction plant this morning. They want to be paid bonuses for completing a section of the project, arguing that managers get such a bonus. The striking workers are also demonstrating in solidarity with workers who were fired by Eskom recently for damaging property. The National Union of Metal Workers, NUMSA, has accused Eskom of pitching workers against each other. Well, joining us now on the line is Eskom spokesperson Kulu Pasiwe. Welcome, Kulu.
Yes, good afternoon or good evening, Gunther, and to our viewers and listeners.
Kulu, the first thing is, of course, that those consumers who actually do pay their bills are likely to be quite enraged by this move. Is there any assurance you can give them?
Well, Gunther, it is indeed true that people who are paying for the supply of electricity are going to be very affected by this, because obviously, ideally, we should be disconnecting or interrupting people who are not paying for their services. But unfortunately, because remember, we as a customer, we as a supplier, we are supplying our customer, which is the municipality. And because they in turn are getting their electricity from the municipality, yes, they are not going to have their electricity, because obviously we have cut their supplier, which is the municipality. It's one of those unfortunate situations, I'm afraid, but through the process that we are going to launch very soon, which is at the end of this month, we are going to advertise in local newspapers where these municipalities are, where we are going to ask for written submissions, so that people can hopefully use the very anger that you're mentioning to use it against the municipalities, because obviously they are having a relationship with the municipalities, so they have to force municipalities to pay the money so that this imminent power interruption can be avoided.
And what about yourselves and your relationship with the municipalities? Are you negotiating?
We are negotiating still, Gunther. We have sent them letters, basically I'm questioning them that if they do not settle their accounts, then we will take this drastic measure of interrupting their power supply. Some of them have begun some processes where they are basically promising to start paying money in installments and things like that, which is something that we are open to. It must be pointed out, Gunther. We are not like we are basically just out there to disrupt people's lives. So just like any customer who has any relationship with any supplier, if you are unable to pay for certain reasons, you need to proactively go to your service provider and say, this is my situation that I'm facing, I can only pay so much, and then you make arrangements as to how much you will be paying at a specific time. Some municipalities have defaulted even in terms of those special arrangements that we have made with them. We are now faced with a situation where the debt is increasing, and we will have our own obligations that we need to fulfill, but we cannot get the money. So we have to take this drastic action that we are about to take.
Kulu, what about those who simply cannot pay? We know some of these municipalities have been placed under administration in the past. Surely you've got a plan B?
Well, municipalities that cannot pay, obviously, there are also ways in which they can obviously state their case, and the National Treasury is also there to assist them where possible. But some municipalities, I can assure you, Gunther, that they do get the money from their own customers. And customers are paying, but the money is being used for other things, like paying salaries and also diverting it for other purposes. So we are saying that the money which is meant for electricity needs to be ring-fenced and needs to go for those specific purposes. Which is why, by the way, I think it was sometime last week when the National Treasury issued a list of 60 defaulting municipalities, yes, and basically withheld their money that was supposed to go to them, and that money obviously will only be released once they make arrangements with Eskom as to when and how they're going to pay the money.
That was Kulu Pasiwe, spokesperson for Eskom. Now, the National Union of Mine Workers has signed a groundbreaking wage deal